The night was quiet in the small town of Ravenwood. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the soft wind moving through the trees. Mina walked alone, her school bag hanging from one shoulder. She had finished her part-time job at the local store and was heading home. She did not feel scared. She had walked this path many times, but tonight something felt different. The air felt colder. The streetlights flickered like they were struggling to stay alive. Mina pulled her jacket tighter around her. As she walked, she saw a strange light in the sky. At first, she thought it was a plane, but the light moved too slowly and too smoothly. It did not make any sound. Mina stopped and stared. The light was getting closer. It was not a plane, it was something else. Her heart began to beat faster. She looked around, hoping to see someone else, someone who could tell her what was happening. But the street was empty. There was no one. The light suddenly grew brighter. Mina squinted, trying to protect her eyes. The light was so strong that it made the night look like day. Then, without warning, the streetlights went out. Mina stood in darkness, except for the bright light above her. The wind stopped. The world became silent. She felt a strange feeling in her body, like she was floating. Her legs felt heavy, like they were not touching the ground. Her breath became fast and shallow. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The light moved closer, and Mina saw a shape inside it. A large, round object hovered above her. It was like a ship, but she had never seen anything like it. A beam of light shot down from the ship and hit her. The beam was cold, like ice. Mina felt her body lift up slowly. She was rising into the air. Her heart raced. She tried to grab the air, but she could not. Her hands moved like she was underwater. Mina looked down. The ground was far away now. Her town looked tiny, like a toy. She wanted to scream again, but she still could not. Her mouth was open, but no sound came out. She felt like her voice was trapped inside her. Then everything went black. When Mina opened her eyes, she was not in the sky. She was in a room. The room was made of smooth metal. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. There were no windows, no doors, only strange symbols on the walls that moved like they were alive. Mina tried to move, but she was tied to a chair. Her hands were locked behind her. Her legs were tied too. The ropes were not like normal ropes. They were thin and bright, like light itself. She looked around, her eyes wide with fear. She tried to calm herself, but her heart was pounding. She shouted, "Hello! Anyone! Help!" Her voice echoed in the room, but no one answered. Minutes passed. Then she heard a sound, a quiet, soft noise like a whisper. It was coming from outside the room. The door opened. Mina saw a figure step inside. It was tall and thin. Its skin was pale and shiny. Its eyes were big and glowing. It did not look like a human. It looked like a creature from a nightmare. Mina's breath stopped. The creature looked at her. It did not smile. It did not show anger. It only stared, as if it was trying to understand her. Then the creature raised its hand. It moved slowly, and Mina felt a strange pressure in her head. A wave of images rushed into her mind. She saw stars. She saw planets. She saw strange ships flying through space. She saw people, many people, looking at her with fear. Then she understood something. She could understand the creature. It was not speaking with sound. It was speaking with thoughts. The creature said in her mind, "We did not take you to hurt you." Mina's eyes widened. She thought, "What? Then why am I here?" The creature continued, "We took you to learn." Mina tried to speak, but her mouth was dry. She managed to say, "Why me?" The creature did not answer with words. Instead, it moved closer and placed its hand on her forehead. Mina felt a sudden calm. The fear inside her began to fade. The creature showed her images again. She saw a library of strange technology. She saw aliens studying animals, plants, and humans. She saw a room full of people who looked like her, tied and scared. Then the creature showed her something that made her heart freeze. It showed her a small device with Earth's flag on it. A tracker. Mina realized she was not the first human taken. She was not the first victim. She was only one of many. The creature moved away from her and said, "You are special." Mina's voice shook as she whispered, "Special? How?" The creature stared at her for a moment. Then it spoke again, this time with a stronger thought. "You have a power inside you." Mina felt her body tremble. She did not know what the creature meant. She had never felt any power. The creature turned and walked toward the door. Before leaving, it paused and looked back at Mina. Then it said the last words she would never forget. "Be calm. You will be studied, but you must also be protected." The door closed. Mina was left alone again. She stared at the glowing walls, her mind racing. She did not know what was happening, but she knew one thing for sure. Her life had just changed forever.
Mina sat in the chair for a long time. The room stayed quiet. The glow on the walls kept moving like it was alive. Her mind raced. She tried to think of a way to escape, but the light ropes kept her tight. The ropes felt like they were part of her, like they were attached to her skin. She looked at the door, waiting. She hoped someone would come. She hoped a human would appear and save her. But no one came. Then, suddenly, the door opened again. This time, it was not the tall creature. It was a different one. This alien was smaller. Its skin was a soft silver color. It had gentle eyes and a calm face. It did not look scary. It looked tired. The alien walked in slowly and held a small device in its hands. The device looked like a tablet, but it was glowing. The alien placed it on a table beside Mina. It spoke in her mind, softly. "Do not fear. I am not here to hurt you." Mina swallowed hard. She looked at the alien and whispered, "Who are you?" The alien's eyes moved slowly over her face. It seemed to study her like a scientist studies a new animal. "My name is Kryll," it said. "We are the Vernox." Mina did not understand the word, but she felt a strange calm in her body. Her fear was still there, but it was not as strong. Kryll touched the glowing tablet. The tablet showed a bright image. It was a view of a planet, blue and green. The planet looked like Earth. Mina's heart jumped. "That is Earth," she said, almost in a whisper. Kryll nodded. He seemed surprised that she knew. "Yes," he said. "We know your planet. We have watched it for many years." Mina stared at him. "Why? Why are you watching us?" Kryll looked down, as if he felt guilty. "Because your world is strange," he said. "Your species is strong, and your mind is powerful." Mina felt her cheeks warm. She did not like being praised. She wanted to be free. Kryll continued. "But we did not come to Earth to conquer it. We came to learn." Mina frowned. "Then why did you take me?" Kryll's eyes softened. "You are not like other humans," he said. "You carry a rare gene, a gene that appears only once in many generations." Mina's mind went blank. She thought of her life. She was a normal girl. She had no special talent. She was not smart like the top students. She was not strong like athletes. She was just normal. Kryll seemed to read her thoughts. "You may think you are normal," he said, "but inside you there is something that makes you different." Mina stared at him, confused. "Different how?" Kryll touched the tablet again. The image changed. Now it showed a group of aliens in a huge room. They were looking at a map of the stars. They were worried. Their faces were tense. Kryll pointed at the map. "This is our home, the Vernox world." He pointed at a dark area on the map. "This is the Kryll territory." Mina felt a chill. She had never heard the word Kryll, but the name sounded dangerous. Kryll spoke slowly, as if he was afraid of the truth. "The Kryll are a race of warriors," he said. "They destroy planets. They steal resources. They kill without mercy." Mina's eyes widened. "And they're coming?" she asked. Kryll nodded. "They are always coming." Mina felt her stomach drop. She looked down at her tied hands. She whispered, "What does this have to do with me?" Kryll took a deep breath. "There was a time," he said, "when the Kryll attacked our world. We were losing. Our ships were destroyed. Our people were dying. Mina leaned forward, listening. Cairo continued. Then a human came. Mina blinked. A human? Cairo nodded. Yes, a human woman. She fought alone. She destroyed a Kryll ship. She saved our world. Mina's heart beat faster. Where is she now? Mina asked. Cairo's eyes became distant. No one knows, he said. She disappeared after the battle. Some say she died. Some say she returned to Earth, but her legend remained. Mina felt a strange feeling in her chest. It was not fear. It was something else. Something like hope. Cairo looked at her and said, "You are believed to be her." Mina laughed, but the laugh was weak. Me? I'm not a hero. I'm just a girl. Cairo's voice became firm. Heroes are not born. They are made. Mina looked away. She did not want to believe him. She did not want to be special. She wanted to be normal. But Cairo continued. The Kryll are coming to Earth. They have been searching for the human who saved us. They think the same human is still alive. Mina's eyes widened. But I'm not her. Cairo shook his head slowly. Maybe you are not her, but you have the same gene, the same power. That is why they took you. Mina's breath grew heavy. So they want to kill me? She asked. Cairo's eyes became sad. They want to capture you, he said. They want to study you. They want to use your power. Mina felt anger rise inside her. She looked at Cairo and said, "Then I will not let them." Cairo's face changed. He looked relieved. "You will not be alone. We will help you." Mina felt tears in her eyes. She had never been so scared, yet so strong at the same time. Cairo leaned closer and whispered, "You must learn quickly. The Kryll are close. We are not safe here." Mina nodded, even though she did not know what to do next. Cairo stood up and walked toward the door. Before he left, he turned back and said, "Rest now. Tomorrow we begin." The door closed. Mina was left alone again, but something inside her had changed. She was no longer only a victim. She was now part of something bigger, and she did not know if that was good or dangerous.
Mina did not sleep. She lay in the chair and stared at the glowing ceiling. The ropes felt tighter at night. Her body ached, but her mind was awake. She tried to remember the story Cairo told her, the human woman, the Kryll, the legend. It sounded impossible. She was just a normal girl, but she could not stop thinking about it. At dawn, the door opened again. This time, more aliens entered. They looked like scientists. They wore strange suits and carried tools that glowed. They moved quietly, like they were afraid of making noise. Mina tried to sit up, but the ropes held her tight. She watched them carefully. One of the scientists walked toward her and held a small box. The box opened, and a thin mist rose from it. Mina inhaled it by accident. Suddenly, her mind felt sharper. Her fear faded. Her thoughts became clear. It was like a fog lifted from her brain. The scientist smiled, as if the mist worked. Mina felt a strange calm. She looked at the scientist and asked, "What was that?" The scientist answered in her mind, "It is a calming serum. It helps you think clearly. It also makes you easier to study." Mina tried to speak, but her voice sounded weak. The scientist did not seem cruel, but Mina still felt trapped. Then Cairo entered the room again. He looked at Mina and said, "Today we show you the legend." Mina's heart beat faster. "Why?" she asked. Cairo's eyes were serious. "Because you must understand what you are becoming," he said. "You must know the truth." The scientists moved to a large screen on the wall. The screen lit up. The room filled with a bright light. Mina saw a woman on the screen. She was tall and strong. She wore a suit that looked like armor. Her hair was tied back. Her eyes were cold and determined. She held a weapon that glowed like lightning. The woman raised her weapon and fired. The blast hit a huge ship. The ship exploded in a massive fireball. The screen showed the Kryll ship falling from the sky. It crashed into the ocean. The room fell silent. Mina's mouth opened. She could not believe what she saw. Cairo spoke softly. "This is the Star Valkyrie." Mina stared at the screen. She felt a strange connection, like the woman was calling to her. Cairo continued. The Kryll attacked our world many years ago. We were losing. We had no hope." He paused, and his voice became softer. Then the Star Valkyrie came. Mina watched the screen. She saw the woman fighting alone. She saw her moving through the battlefield like a ghost. She saw her destroying Kryll soldiers with a calm, quiet rage. The woman was not just strong, she was fearless. Mina felt her heart pound. Cairo's voice shook a little as he said, "She saved us." Mina whispered, "But why did she leave?" Cairo looked down. "No one knows," he said. "She vanished after the battle. Some say she returned to Earth. Some say she died, but the Kryll never forgot her." Mina's eyes burned with tears. She did not want to be part of this. She did not want to be a legend. She just wanted to go home. But the screen continued. A new image appeared. It showed the Star Valkyrie standing in a dark room. She was alone. She looked tired. She held a small device. The device looked like a key. The Star Valkyrie pressed the key. A bright portal opened. The portal showed Earth. Mina's heart stopped. The woman was going back to Earth. The screen showed her stepping into the portal. Then the screen went black. Cairo turned to Mina and said, "The Kryll believe the Star Valkyrie is still alive. They believe she returned to Earth." Mina's voice was quiet. "Why would they care?" she asked. Cairo's eyes were serious. "Because they defeated you," he said. "They made you feel weak. They hate her for that." Mina swallowed hard. "So they are looking for her," Mina said, "and they found me." Cairo nodded. "Yes," he said. "You have the same gene, the same power." Mina shook her head. "I don't have any power," she said. "I'm just a normal girl." Cairo looked at her with a strange expression. "Do you feel it?" he asked. Mina frowned. "What?" she asked. Cairo placed his hand near her forehead again. Mina felt a small shock, like a tiny electric pulse. A vision flashed in her mind. She saw herself standing on a battlefield. She was wearing armor. She was holding a weapon of light. She was fighting the Kryll. She saw her own face in the vision. She was the Star Valkyrie. Mina gasped and fell back in the chair. Her mind was spinning. She felt like she was losing control. Cairo quickly stepped forward and held her head. "It is okay," he said. "The vision is a memory. It is from your gene." Mina shook her head. "No," she said. "That is not a memory. That is me." Cairo's eyes widened. "Yes," he said. "That is why the Kryll want you." Mina felt fear rise again, but it was mixed with anger. She looked at Cairo and said, "If I am the Star Valkyrie, then I need to stop the Kryll." Cairo nodded slowly. "Yes," he said, "but first you must learn." Mina's hands trembled. "Learn what?" she asked. Cairo's voice was calm but firm. "Learn to control your power. Learn to survive. Learn to become the legend." Mina stared at the screen, at the image of the Star Valkyrie. She felt the weight of her new reality. She was not just a girl anymore. She was a warning, and the Kryll were coming. The day after the vision, Mina woke up with a heavy feeling in her chest. Her mind was filled with the image of the Star Valkyrie. She could still see the glowing weapon and the burning sky. She could still feel the power inside her. She looked around the room. The ropes were still there. The walls still glowed. She still felt trapped. But she also felt something else. A new feeling. Determination. Mina knew she had to learn. She had to become strong. She had to fight. She waited for Cairo. He arrived soon, holding a small device. His face looked worried. "Mina," he said, "we have a problem." Mina's eyes narrowed. "What problem?" Cairo held up the device. It showed a bright red warning signal. "The Kryll are near," he said. "They are coming." Mina's heart pounded. "How near?" she asked. Cairo swallowed. "They are already in our system. They are approaching our lab." Mina felt her body go cold. She looked at the door, expecting to see soldiers, but the hall outside was silent. Cairo stepped closer and said, "We must move you." Mina stared at him. "Move me where?" Cairo looked down, his voice low. "Some of our people believe we cannot hide you anymore," he said. "They want to send you to Earth. They think the Kryll will not expect you there." Mina's eyes widened. "Send me to Earth? Now?" Cairo nodded. "Yes, now, before they find us." Mina thought of her family. She thought of her town. She thought of her life. She did not want to leave, but she also knew the Kryll were dangerous. She swallowed and said, Okay, let's go. Cairo nodded and moved toward the door. Suddenly, the lab shook. The room vibrated. The lights flickered. A loud alarm sounded. The walls shook again, like the building was being hit by a giant fist. Mina grabbed the chair. Her hands trembled. Cairo shouted, "The Kryll are inside!" The door burst open. Dark figures poured into the room. They were tall and armored. Their bodies were covered in black metal. Their eyes glowed red. They moved like soldiers, but they were not human. Mina's heart raced. The Kryll soldiers walked toward her. They held strange weapons that looked like blades of dark energy. Cairo stepped in front of Mina. He raised his hands, trying to block them. "Stop!" Cairo shouted in his mind. "She is ours!" The Kryll did not stop. They moved faster. One of the Kryll soldiers grabbed Mina's chair. It tried to pull her away. Mina struggled, but the ropes held her. Cairo screamed, "No!" He reached for a device on his belt and pressed it. A bright shield appeared around Mina. The shield held the Kryll soldiers back. But the Kryll were strong. They pushed against the shield. The shield cracked. Cairo looked at Mina with fear. "Mina," he shouted, "you must wake your power." Mina felt panic. She did not know how. She did not know what to do. But the Kryll were breaking the shield. Mina closed her eyes and remembered the vision. She saw herself as the Star Valkyrie. She saw the weapon of light. She saw the power. She focused. A small glow appeared in her hands. The glow grew brighter. The Kryll soldiers stopped. They stared at the light. Mina opened her eyes. She felt a rush of energy. The ropes around her hands started to break. Mina felt the power flow through her body. She felt strong. The Kryll soldiers stepped back. Mina lifted her hands. A beam of light shot from her palms. It hit the nearest Kryll soldier. The soldier exploded into sparks. The room filled with light. The other Kryll soldiers froze. Mina's eyes widened. She had done it. She had used her power. Cairo fell to his knees, shaking. "You did it," he whispered. "You are the Star Valkyrie." Mina looked at the Kryll soldiers. She felt fear, but she also felt something else. Anger. She shouted, "Leave her alone!" The Kryll leader stepped forward. He was larger than the others. His armor was darker. His eyes burned like fire. He spoke in a deep voice that shook the room. "You are not the Valkyrie. You are only a child." Mina's power flickered. The leader's voice felt like a poison in her mind. Cairo shouted, "Do not listen to him!" The Kryll leader raised his weapon. The weapon glowed with dark energy. Mina felt the air freeze. The Kryll leader aimed at Mina. Mina closed her eyes, preparing for the worst. But then something unexpected happened. A loud explosion shook the room. The ceiling cracked. The walls shook. The Kryll soldiers screamed. A group of Vernox warriors burst into the room. They wore armor and carried weapons that glowed with bright blue light. They fought the Kryll soldiers with skill and speed. The Kryll leader turned to them, angry. He shouted, "No, this is not your fight!" The Vernox leader stepped forward. He was tall and strong. His eyes were cold. He looked at Mina and said, "We have to leave, now." Mina looked at Cairo. "What is happening?" Cairo looked at her with fear in his eyes. "The Kryll have found us," he said. "They have been watching us for a long time." Mina's heart sank. She realized the truth. The Kryll did not just want her. They wanted the Vernox too. They wanted the technology, the power, the world. Mina stood up, her hands still glowing. She looked at the Kryll leader, and she knew one thing. She was not safe. Not here, not anywhere. The Kryll were close, and the legend was about to begin. The Vernox warriors pushed through the broken door. The lab was a chaos of flashing lights and alarms. Kryll soldiers were everywhere, fighting with bright, dark weapons that tore the air like lightning. Mina stood in the middle of it all, her hands still glowing. Her body was shaking. She felt the power inside her like a storm. Cairo grabbed her arm and pulled her toward a hidden hallway. "Come," he shouted. "We have to go now." Mina ran, her heart pounding. She could hear the Kryll soldiers behind them. The sound of their weapons was loud and heavy. It felt like the walls were shaking. The hallway was long and dark. Mina could see the end, where a door was glowing. The door looked like a portal. It was the same kind of light she saw in her vision. Cairo pushed her forward. "This is the portal," he said. "It leads to Earth." Mina's eyes widened. "Now?" Cairo nodded. "Now. The Kryll are too strong. We cannot fight them here." Mina looked back and saw the Kryll leader running toward them. His red eyes were burning with rage. Mina felt fear, but she also felt something else. She felt a strange calm. She knew she had to go. Cairo grabbed her hand and pulled her into the portal. The world spun. Mina felt her stomach drop. The light was bright, like a sun inside her eyes. She felt like she was being pulled apart and put back together. Then, suddenly, she was falling. She landed hard on the ground. The air was cold and fresh. She looked up. She was in a forest. The trees were tall. The leaves were thick. The moon was bright. Mina sat up and looked around. She did not recognize the place, but she knew it was Earth. She stood up and dusted herself off. Her hands still glowed slightly. Cairo was beside her, breathing heavily. "We made it," he said. Mina looked at him. "Where is my home?" Cairo looked down. "Your home is far," he said. "The portal brought you to a safe place." Mina's eyes filled with tears. "I want to go home," she whispered. Cairo nodded. "I know," he said, "but we cannot go back. The Kryll will be waiting." Mina felt a cold fear inside her. She had been taken away from Earth once. She did not want it to happen again. Cairo took a deep breath. "There is a hidden base nearby," he said, "a place where humans fight the Kryll. They are called the Resistance." Mina's eyes widened. "Resistance?" Cairo nodded. "They have been waiting for the legend. They believe the Star Valkyrie will return." Mina felt a shiver run through her body. She was not sure if she wanted to be a legend, but she also knew she had no choice. She followed Cairo through the forest. The night was quiet, but Mina felt like something was watching them. She kept looking over her shoulder. After walking for a long time, they reached a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a hidden entrance. It was covered with leaves and vines. Mina could see a metal door beneath it. Cairo pushed the door open. A stairway led down into darkness. Mina stepped down carefully. The air was cold and damp. She could hear the sound of machines and distant voices. The stairway ended at a large underground base. The walls were covered with maps, screens, and weapons. Humans were moving quickly, preparing for something. Mina's heart pounded. She had never seen anything like this. A man with a scar across his face approached them. He looked tough and serious. His eyes were sharp. He stared at Mina. "You are her," he said. Mina's voice shook. "Her?" The man nodded. "The Star Valkyrie," he said. "We have been waiting for you." Mina swallowed. "I'm not her," she said. "I'm just Mina." The man smiled slightly. "You will be soon," he said. A woman stepped forward. She was tall and strong. Her hair was short and her face looked tired, but her eyes were full of fire. She looked at Mina and said, "I am Commander Rhea. Welcome to the Resistance." Mina bowed her head slightly. "I don't know why you think I'm the Valkyrie. I'm not a hero." Rhea walked closer. She looked Mina up and down like she was searching for something. "You have the power," Rhea said. "We can see it. The Kryll know it. That means you are the key." Mina's hands shook. "Key to what?" Rhea's voice became serious. "The Kryll are coming to Earth," she said. "They want to destroy us. They want to take our planet." Mina's stomach dropped. Rhea continued, "But they fear one thing, the legend, the Star Valkyrie. They believe she can stop them." Mina looked down. "But I don't know how to stop them." Rhea nodded. "You will learn." Mina felt a cold fear, but she also felt a strange strength. She realized she had been chosen, not because she wanted it, but because she had power. The base became silent. A loud alarm suddenly rang. Rhea's eyes widened. She looked at the screens. "They are here," she said. Mina's heart raced. Rhea turned to Mina and said, "Get ready. This is the first battle." Mina looked at Cairo. He nodded. Mina took a deep breath and whispered to herself, "I will not fail." Then she walked toward the exit with the Resistance. The forest outside was quiet, but Mina knew the silence was dangerous. The Kryll were near, and Earth was about to become a battlefield. The night air was cold and heavy. The forest outside the Resistance base looked calm, but Mina knew it was only a mask. The sky was full of dark clouds, and the stars were hidden. It felt like the world was holding its breath. Inside the base, everyone was preparing. Humans moved quickly, loading weapons, checking machines, and securing doors. The air was full of tension. Mina could feel it in every heartbeat. Commander Rhea stood in front of a large screen. The screen showed a view of Earth from space. There were many dark ships approaching. The Kryll fleet was huge, like a black storm. Rhea's voice was calm but firm. "We have one chance," she said. "We must stop them before they reach the cities." Mina stood beside Cairo, watching the screen. Her hands still glowed faintly. She felt the power inside her like a quiet fire. Rhea turned to Mina. "You are the legend," she said. "You must lead the attack." Mina's heart jumped. "I'm not ready," Mina said. Rhea looked at her with a steady gaze. "You don't have to be ready," she said. "You just have to be brave." Mina swallowed hard. She looked at Cairo. He nodded. Mina felt a cold fear, but she also felt something else. She felt the truth. She was not just a girl, she was a weapon. But she did not want to be a weapon. She wanted to be hope. The resistance moved out. Mina followed them through a hidden tunnel that led to a launch area. The tunnel opened into a large hangar. Several ships were ready. The ships looked like fighter jets, but they were faster and stronger. Mina stepped into a ship. Her hands shook as she sat in the seat. A helmet was placed on her head. The helmet felt heavy, but it was also warm, like it belonged to her. Cairo sat beside her. "Remember," he said, "your power is not only for fighting, it is for protecting." Mina nodded. She took a deep breath. The hangar doors opened. The sky outside was dark. The Kryll ships were visible in the distance. They looked enormous. The resistance ships flew out one by one. Mina's ship soared into the sky. The wind rushed past her. The stars were hidden behind the clouds, but the Kryll fleet was clear. The Kryll ships were like a wall of darkness. They moved slowly, but they were powerful. Mina's ship approached the fleet. The resistance fighters began attacking. Bright beams and explosions filled the sky. The Kryll ships were strong, but the resistance was brave. Mina felt the fear in her chest, but she also felt her power growing. The glow in her hands became brighter. Her body felt lighter, like she was floating. Then a huge Kryll ship separated from the fleet. It was larger than the others. It looked like a moving fortress. The Kryll leader's ship. Mina's heart pounded. The Kryll leader's voice came through the radio. "You are not the Valkyrie," he said. "You are only a child." Mina gripped the controls. "I am not a child," she shouted. "I am a human." The Kryll leader laughed. "Human? You are a tool." Mina felt anger rise. The anger burned inside her like fire. She remembered the story, the Star Valkyrie, the legend. She remembered the people who believed in her. She remembered her own fear. She took a deep breath. Then she shouted, "I am not a tool." Her hands glowed brighter. The power inside her surged like a storm. Mina's ship moved forward alone, leaving the resistance fighters behind. She flew straight toward the Kryll leader's ship. The Kryll leader fired a dark beam. Mina felt the beam hit her ship. The ship shook. Warning lights flashed. But Mina did not stop. She focused her power. She felt the energy in her body gather like a star. The glow around her grew. Her ship became surrounded by a bright shield of light. The Kryll leader fired again. The beam hit the shield. The shield held. Mina smiled. She felt the power inside her like a roaring ocean. She lifted her hands. A bright beam of pure light shot from her ship. The beam hit the Kryll leader's ship. The ship trembled. It began to crack. The Kryll leader screamed, "No, this cannot be!" The beam grew stronger. The ship exploded in a huge burst of light. The Kryll fleet stopped. The dark ships began to fall from the sky. The resistance fighters cheered. Mina's ship flew through the falling debris. She felt the power leaving her body. Her hands stopped glowing. She looked at the sky. The dark storm was gone. The world was quiet again. Mina felt tears in her eyes. She did not know if she was happy or scared. Commander Rhea's voice came through the radio. "You did it," Rhea said. "You saved Earth." Mina whispered, "I didn't do it alone." Cairo smiled. "You did it," he said. "You became the legend." Mina looked at the sky again. She felt the weight of her new life. She had been taken to be studied, but she returned to become hope. The legend was released, and the world would never forget the name of the Star Valkyrie.